Hello, Poetic Books. This week, week number 6, just wanted to do a quick video on the book of Proverbs. And Dr. Christmas has already alluded to this in his notes. Hopefully, you are reading the notes packet every week. But he talks about how the book of Proverbs must be interpreted according to its context and genre. So you don't want to interpret it as a prophetic book or as a collection of sayings that are guarantees. Instead, they're more like general pieces of wisdom. They're very important, they're godly wisdom, but they are pieces of wisdom. So a soft answer turns away wrath. You know, it's possible to give a soft answer and to have someone just go crazy on you still. But generally, what happens is you talk them down. A soft answer turns away wrath. And hopefully we all have illustrations of having witnessed that or been involved in that before. So a verse that Dr. Christmas alludes to is the verse that says, "Train up your child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it." This one has been the cause of many heartaches for many parents, especially in America, who have interpreted that verse to be a promise that they have clinged on to. And then they wonder, how could I have gone wrong? And they feel so much heartache and pain because they feel it must have been their responsibility and their burden, because if they had raised the child right, then he would not leave Christianity or not leave the church. And that's not what it's saying at all. It's just giving you a general principle. You raise your child right in the nurture and the admonition of the Lord in the way that he should go, then yeah, a lot more often than not, they do tend to stick around. But it's not guaranteed. So that's something to consider. The other set of verses I wanted you to look at would be Proverbs 26, verses 4 and 5. "Answer not a fool according to his folly, lest thou also be like unto him. Answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own conceit." So there, somebody who's not very sympathetic or aware of what the context of Proverbs is will say, see, the author couldn't write more than 2 sentences without contradicting himself. Well, that's not right. That's kind of a silly way to look at it. What is happening here is there's a contrasting couplet, and the idea is, if you're going to be like a fool by answering him, then it's best to just keep your mouth shut and walk away. And if there's a fool who's going to be wise in his own conceit, he's going to think, wow, look at how awesome I am. No one has an answer to this. Well, then you provide him an answer. So it's difficult to apply this principle in life, but that's the general idea. If you're in a discussion with a non-Christian and they're just mocking God the whole time and they're just insulting you, calling you names, there's just kind of a point where you're like, no, I really don't think there's much of a point in answering you. You're just being ridiculous. I don't want to look just like you. We both fall in the mud and look bad. So don't answer. But if there's times where they're up there and they're still acting like a fool, but they just think there's just no answer to what they're saying, their wisdom is superior to God's wisdom, or maybe it's intellectual. Maybe they think their intellect is superior to what Christians have or to what the Bible offers. Well, maybe then you answer to show you're not as wise as you think you are. So that's really just kind of a principle that you really get better at it as you apply it and go on as you grow older and grow wiser, hopefully, in the scriptures. So that's something I want you to meditate on. What are some examples of how maybe you have done this right? You've answered not a fool when you shouldn't have, because you would have been like unto him, or you have answered a fool because you needed to set them straight. And then think of some times when you did it wrong, and maybe try to pray this week that God will lead you to act with more wisdom in these situations as they come up. I hope you have a good week, and as always, reach out to me with any questions.